Hello, everybody. My name is Connor, and I'm from 1 Minute English. So today we're going to talk all about prepositions, right? So I wrote a really long blog post on my website, so you can see that in the description below. Okay, and I'm trying to give you all of the information about prepositions that I know. So let's try first. This is 1 Minute English, so let's try and describe prepositions in 1 minute. Let's go. Okay, so prepositions usually show the relationship between two parts of the sentence. Okay, you have a verb and a noun and a noun. So the man is behind the chair. Okay, so the man and the chair and the preposition shows the relationship between the two. Okay, we also have dependent prepositions. Okay, that's where you have a verb, a noun and an adjective, and a preposition. For example, to look at something. Verb look and preposition at. Okay, and then we also have prepositional phrases. These are common little expressions that we use in English, like at the beginning, and we also use prepositions in phrasal verbs. Okay, and the most common prepositions are at, on, in, and for, and to. Okay, so now we'll get into a little bit more detail. So I encourage you to click below the link to my website, Prepositions, the complete guide, as you can see here. Okay, and then you can read at your own pace. Okay, so this is my complete guide to prepositions in English. Okay, here I just talk about how prepositions can be difficult. And that is because they are small words, okay? And it can be difficult when you're listening to native English speakers to understand these small words. And also that they can be used in different ways, okay? And I will explain the different ways in this part. So, what is a preposition? A preposition in English is a part of speech that shows the relationship between a noun and another part of the sentence, okay? So, we have a noun, which could be a man, and we have a house, okay? And we want to show the relationship between these two things, okay? So the man is behind the house, okay? And another example could be I am talking to you, okay? So I am talking, verb, you, a noun. So this is the noun. You're connecting the noun to the verb. So I'm talking to, preposition, you. Okay. So let's see how to use a preposition. So we use prepositions in different contexts, but in general, we use a preposition with a noun to show the time. Okay. I was born in March. Okay. I start school at 9 o'clock. Okay, the time. The direction, this is very common. Okay, I walked towards the bar. And we have here the location. I am in front of the cinema. Okay, and the table is on the floor. Okay, that's the location. Or to introduce something new. So I want a coffee with milk. Okay, you're just adding something extra. Okay, I like to drink coffee with sugar. Okay, you're adding something new. Okay, and notice how the preposition usually comes before the noun. Okay, the noun is called the object of the preposition. So this milk is the object of this preposition. Okay, and we want to show the relationship of this noun, the milk, to the other part of the sentence, okay? And this common structure, subject, verb, preposition, noun. I went for a coffee, okay? And that's a common structure in English. Okay, so preposition before a verb. We don't usually use prepositions before verbs, okay? It usually comes verb, preposition, noun. So this is the only time that you can use it when you have two verbs. Okay, so What do you think about going to the park? Okay, when you have two verbs. I am good at playing football. Okay, but this is because this is a dependent preposition. Okay, so this at always goes with good, to be good at something. So I'm good at playing football. I'm good at talking. Okay, so then we have gerunds and infinitives. I'll skip this part. And what are the different types of prepositions? Okay, so the first type is making that connection between the different parts of the sentence. And the other parts we have are dependent prepositions. Okay, so it means a verb and a preposition. So in this case, it's just the verb always uses a preposition. So very common examples are wait for. Okay, we always say I wait for the bus. I wait for the movie to start. Okay, or listen to is another common example. So I listen to music. We always use to. Okay, with listen. And there are more examples here. And there's a picture of me dancing. We also have nouns and prepositions. Okay, what is the reason for? Okay, we always use this preposition with reason. Solution to. I need a solution to my English homework. Okay, and then you also have an adjective and preposition. My boss was angry about, or my boss was angry with. My boss was angry with me. Okay, we always use angry with when it's a person. Okay, I encourage you to read this blog post slowly so you can understand everything. Okay, and if you have any questions, comment below. Okay, and then we also have prepositional phrases. These are just phrases that we use in English they're common phrases to make it easier. Things like in the middle, in time or on time. They're just kind of little chunks of language that we use all the time. Okay, and a common thing that people say is that you can't finish a sentence with a preposition. You can. Here are some examples of when you can do that. Passive and infinitive structures. Okay, so to summarize, prepositions can be used in 3, maybe 4 ways. To show the relationship between two parts of the sentence. A dependent preposition, that means look at or wait for or something like that. In a prepositional phrase, in the middle, something like that. And then also in phrasal verbs. Okay, so now I will explain the most common prepositions in English. Let's start with about. Okay, so about is usually when you want to talk about the topic. What is the subject? So in this case, the book is about food. Okay, that's the subject. What is the story about? Okay, the next one we have is above. Okay, above is something when you have one thing and you have something above that one first thing. Okay, so in this example, I live above a shop. Okay, the shelf is above the TV. Across. Okay, so that's usually when you have to cross something, you have one thing on one side and you have to cross to the other side. So I live across the road. The shop is across from the cinema. After, okay, when you have one thing and then you have another thing that comes after in time, right? The movie is after dinner. I always study after school. Okay, against, usually it's when you have one thing and it's another thing comes into contact, like this. Okay, in this case it's more metaphorical. Okay, Barcelona play against Liverpool. I hit my head against the wall. Along is usually you have one thing like a river that's moving and you walk along the side. Okay, Um, Kind of like accompany. So I always walk along the river. We are going to the cinema. You should come along. Okay, you should. We are going, and you should come along too. Among is when you have one thing, and there are lots of other things. So we are among the best footballers in the country. Who among us is a good fighter? Around has a few meanings. Okay, one of them is approximately. Okay, there are around 50 people in this room. And then the other meaning is around, kind of like round. So I live around the corner. Then at, and we use this in different contexts again. So let's meet at the park. So at, usually when you have a reference point and you want to explain to the other person where you are. Okay, so at the moment I am at home. Okay, that's where I am. It's the place. Okay, and then also for time, so classes start at 9 a.m. for hours, okay? At 9 a.m., at 10 a.m., at 1 p.m. Okay, good. And then we have before. So it's the opposites of after. So we have one thing and then before that thing. So I always drink coffee before work. I brush my teeth before bed. Okay, the next one is behind. And so you have one thing, and then the other thing is behind. Okay, so look out, there is a big dog behind you. So you can't see the dog, it's behind you. So behind me, there is a door. Okay, I live behind a cinema. Below is the opposite of above. So you have above and then below. The basement is usually a place below houses. So the basement is below my house. See below, that means look below, look down, and these are the things. Beneath is very similar. There are new shoes beneath the stairs, under, and there is water beneath the ground. Beside, okay, when you have two things that are um, near each other. I sit beside John in class. I live beside a petrol station. Between, okay, that's when you have two things and there's one thing in the middle, okay? There's a big space between us. You need to leave a space between the title and the paragraph. Beyond, okay, that's kind of too far. There's a place that's like way over here, and then beyond is boom, you can't see. Okay, astrophysics is beyond my knowledge, right? I don't know anything. My knowledge goes up here, and then astrophysics is boom, you can't see. Okay, what is beyond the park? Okay, in this case, kind of like after the park. But okay, is very common. I like ice cream, but you want to show something the contrary, but I prefer chocolate. It was a good movie, but I didn't like the ending. And by, okay, has a couple of meanings. I did it all by myself. This next one is like a deadline. You need to write the report by Monday. And then another one is I live by the river. Okay, kind of like near. We don't use it for everything though. Be careful with that. And down. Okay, I walk down the road. The office is down the stairs. During is like when one thing is happening and something else is happening during that one thing. So I fell asleep during the movie. Okay, if the movie is continuing and you are falling asleep. It happened during the game. Okay, one thing happened during the game. Except, okay, I like all vegetables except broccoli. Okay, there's a lot, and then there's one exception, like many rules in English. Everybody is going except me. And then for has many meanings, but let's say the reason is one of them. I ate bread for breakfast. I had to wait for a month. Okay. From, usually a starting point. I am from Ireland. Okay, that's where I started. The class is from 9. Okay, it starts to 10. In has many meanings, depending. Yeah, this depends on what we talked about before with the time and the location, right? So I live in Dublin, right? That's we use volume, right? I am in the room. The water is in the bottle, okay? And for time, um, it's usually longer times, right? For years, right? I was born in 1985. Inside is really when you want to have a closed thing and you put it in. Let's go inside is called out here. I put the cup inside the cupboard. Into, right? You can take this into two parts. There's in, what we talked about, the volume, and to, which is often movement. So you have something that goes into something else, right? So it's moving into another volume, right? And here's a cup, right? So I put this into the cup. Okay, it moves into a different volume. Okay, I walked into the room. He walked into the wall. Okay, like is as a preposition, it's usually similarity. Okay, my brother is like my father. You look like George Clooney. Near, okay, is something that's close or near. It's not far. I live near you. The toilet is near the stairs. Okay, of is usually one part of a big thing. So this piece is part of the puzzle. I am part of the team. And then this one is off, okay? Of, off. Okay, I got off the train at Heathrow Airport. I took off my sweater. And then we have on. I work on Tuesdays. Okay, this again has different meanings for time and location. So I work on Tuesdays. That's times for days of the week. And the book is on the table, right? You usually have a surface and then you put something else on the surface. Okay, then we have out. I walked out of the shop, out, and take out the trash. Okay, usually it's one place and you go out, you leave. Outside, okay, is the opposite of inside. So we usually use this when we're talking about in the fresh air, okay, not indoors, outdoors. I don't like to go outside in the winter because it's cold. The football field is outside, okay. Then we have over. It has different meanings, but similar. Something is over. He lived in a flat over a supermarket. Go over there. And the next one is past. Okay, I live past. Similar meaning to after. Okay, so go past the cinema and turn right. Like continue until after the cinema and turn right. Since is from a point in time until now, usually. So I have been here since the morning, okay, from 9 a.m. until now. I have played guitar since I was 16. That's true, right? I started when I was 16 and I continue now to play. Through, usually you have a tunnel or something and you go through this this place. We need to drive through the tunnel. I have seen many concerts down through the years. Okay, throughout, again, a few meanings. You need to really study all of these, right? Um, and find the different meanings. Throughout usually means covers all the area. In this case, yeah, it's a movie. Okay, he talked throughout the whole movie. Okay, during the whole movie. I have traveled throughout the country. That's like all the country. Okay, to again has many meanings. The most common one is movement. Okay, um, I go to work. That's you saying I go to is the movement, and then to the place to work. And this is the phrasal verb here. I'm looking forward to the movie. I work from 9 to 5. And towards, when you go in a direction, you move closer. So go towards the center of the town. We are moving towards the station. Under, the book is under the TV. I have 50 people working under me. Okay, I am at the top and the people are under. Okay, until, I have to work until 6. All that point until a time. We will be here until the end. Up, let's go up to the roof. Up, I need to look that up in the dictionary. Phrasal verb. With, okay, it's kind of accompanied. I love having a coffee with my breakfast. I live with 4 other people. Within is a difficult one. It's usually within the boundaries. Okay, so we have this space and there's something within that space. It is within your rights to apply for citizenship. This is within the rules. And then without. So that's when you don't have something. I can't live without Netflix. I sometimes like coffee without sugar. That's true. Most of the time, I like coffee with sugar. Okay, there is a lot of prepositions. I encourage you to write them down, stop this video and look in the dictionary if you need more examples, because they're very common and you need to use them. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video and this guide to prepositions. If you would like to hit the like button, that would help me a lot, and comment below. Tell me some examples and maybe some new prepositions for you, and write some examples. That would be some good practice. Okay, talk to you soon.